everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started on this. And again, I appreciate everyone following the rules and the regulations and the law about social distancing. I do have a mask. However, it's just kind of hard to talk with it on. Not impossible, but just hard to. So at this time, I am calling the meeting to order, and I will refer to our clerk for the roll call, Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Present.
Councilmember Bailey?
Here.
Councilmember Gordy?
Here.
Mayor Lowe?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on, I would like to say this before we do. We appreciate our judge of probate being here after Harding and this canvassing of the election and the votes. So at this time, on the city council, we had no canvassing of provisional ballots. We had none at all. So at this point, at this time, I am going to call upon the clerk for the reading of the resolution after she opened these ballots that she has that was put in through the machine. So after she does that, we will ask her to read a resolution in reference to the canvassing the election.
Yes,
Mrs.
sir.
Lee, go ahead, and it's the first time they're being opened too. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. This is the mayor's envelopes from the election, from when the machines were ran, the tapes. Okay, this one is from Martin Idlehour Park Community Center, and it should follow along with the attachment to the resolution in the packet. So, according to these totals, it begins with the Board of Education at large. Florence Bellamy, 375. Kendall Sunbury Tarver, 220. Board of Education District 1, Place 1. Brady Baird, 383. Marilyn Brannon, 239. There's only one ticket in there because there was only one machine that was ran. So that's why you have zeros on 1B. That machine was not open. Okay. Then on Central Activity Center, two machines were ran on Central Activity Center. So I'm going to read off the totals from 2A. We're going to begin with the City Council District 2. Vicki Carter Johnson, 147. Jasmine Lawrence, 54. Floyd Teasley, 64. Then there's the Board of Education at large. Florence Bellamy, 150. Kendall Sunbury Tarver, 108. Board of Education District 2, Place 1. James Elliott Patrick, Steve Franklin, 68. James Elliott Patrick, 191. That was from the first machine. The second machine at Central Activity Center, beginning at the top for City Council District 2, Vicki Carter Johnson, 106. Jasmine Lawrence, 38. Floyd Teasley, 38. Board of Education at large, Florence Bellamy, 93. Kendall Sunbury Tarver, 84. Board of Education District 2, Place 1, Steve Franklin, 51. James Elliott Patrick, 132. The next set is from Calvin Spencer Recreation Center. There was only one machine, one ticket for that center. Beginning with the Board of Education at large, Florence Bellamy, 355. Kendall Sunbury Tarver, 469. Board of Education District 3, Place 1, Katrina Collier Long, 451. Lakeisha Thomas Ligon, 370. The last one is from the absentee machine. On the total absentees, beginning at the top with City Council District 2, Vicki Carter Johnson, 48. Jasmine Lawrence, 2. Floyd Teasley, 4. Board of Education at large, Florence Bellamy, 75. Kendall Sunbury Tarver, 40. Board of Education District 1, Place 1, Brady Baird, 6. Marilyn Brannon, 10. Board of Education District 2, Place 1, Steve Franklin, 6. James Elliott Patrick, 47. Board of Education District 3, Place 1, Katrina Collier Long, 29. Lakeisha Thomas Ligon, 17. That is all the tickets from the machines, and like the mayor had said, there were no provisional ballots. When you total everything, you come down to your grand totals of Vicki Carter Johnson, 301, Jasmine Lawrence, 94, Floyd Teasley, 106, Florence Bellamy, 1,048, Kendall Sunbury Tarver, 921, Brady Baird, 389, Marilyn Brannon, 249, Steve Franklin, 125, James Elliott Patrick, 370, Katrina Collier Long, 480, Lakeisha Thomas Ligon, 387. Then the resolution reads as, whereas the general election for the city of Phenix City, Alabama was duly and legally held on August the 25th, 2020 as provided by law. And whereas the municipal governing body of the city of Phenix City, Alabama met on this first day of September 2020, a quorum thereof being present at 12:00 p.m. noon, and has canvassed the returns and has ascertained and determined the number of votes received by each candidate. And whereas the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama has ascertained and determined the result of said election as per the attached recapitulation sheet, adopted this first day of September 2020.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the resolution for canvassing this election.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Johnson. Any comments or discussion, council? Okay, if not, at this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on, council. Next on the agenda is a certification of election, Council Member District 2. Council, at this time, Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Certificate of Election, State of Alabama, Russell County, City of Phoenix City. We, the council members of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, hereby certify that the official canvass of the votes cast in the general municipal election held on August the 25th, 2020, shows that Vicki Carter Johnson received over 50% of the total votes cast and was duly elected to the office of Council Member District Post 2 of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama for the term commencing on the first Monday of November 2020. Given under our hands pursuant to the requirements of sections 1146:20 of the Alabama Code of 1975 as amended this first day of September 2020. This the first day of September 2020.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we've heard the certification of the election for District 2. At this time, council, I'd like to ask for a motion for the approval of that.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Gordon. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. Okay. I'm assuming, of course, you know what they say when you assume, but I ain't gonna assume this time that we don't have any comments or discussion, and would at this time like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy,
Yes.
Mayor Lo.
Yes.
Thank you.
And at this time, council, I'd like to call on Ms. Lee for the certificate of election, Board of Education at large. Mrs. Lee.
Yes, sir. Certificate of Election, State of Alabama, Russell County, City of Phoenix City. We, the council members of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, hereby certify that the official canvass of the votes cast in the general municipal election held on August the 25th, 2020, shows that Florence W. Bellamy received over 50% of the total votes cast and was duly elected to the office of Board of Education Member at Large of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama for the term commencing on the first Monday of November 2020. given under our hands pursuant to the requirements of sections 1146:20 of the Alabama Code of 1975 as amended, this first day of September 2020. This the first day of September 2020.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we've heard the certificate of the election for at-large for the school board. At this time, I'd like to call for a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
All right, that's a motion, Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Johnson. Okay, at this time, call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, the certificate of election, Board of Education, District 1, Place 1. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Certificate of Election, State of Alabama, Russell County, City of Phenix City. We, the council members of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, hereby certify that the official canvass of the votes cast in the general municipal election held on August the 25th, 2020, shows that Brady Baird received over 50% of the total votes cast and was duly elected to the office of Board of Education Member, District 1, Place 1 of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, for the term commencing on the first Monday of November 2020. Given under our hands pursuant to the requirements of sections 1146:20 of the Alabama Code of 1975 as amended, this first day of September 2020. This the first day of September 2020.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. Council, we've heard the reading, and at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to certify this election for District 1, Place 1 of the Phenix City Board of Education. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion by Councilwoman Johnson. May I have a second, Council?
Second.
Councilman Gordy, second. Okay. Want to call for the vote, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And proceeding on is a certificate of education for Board of Education District 2, Place 1. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Certificate of Election, State of Alabama, Russell County, City of Phenix City. We, the council members of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, hereby certify that the official canvass of the votes cast in the general municipal election held on August the 25th, 2020, shows that James Elliott Patrick received over 50% of the total votes cast and was duly elected to the office of Board of Education Member, District 2, Place 1 of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, for the term commencing on the first Monday of November 2020. Given under our hands pursuant to the requirements of sections 1146:20 of the Alabama Code of 1975 as amended, this first day of September 2020. This the first day of September 2020.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Council, we've heard the certification of the Education, Board of Education District 2, Place 1. At this time, I'd like to call for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Gordon. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Day.
Fine.
Okay, we have the motion and second. At this time, Council, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And also proceeding on the Certificate of Education, Board of Education District 3, Place 1. Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Certificate of Election, State of Alabama, Russell County, City of Phenix City. We, the council members of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, hereby certify that the official canvass of the votes cast in the general municipal election held on August the 25th, 2020, shows that Katrina Collier Long received over 50% of the total votes cast and was duly elected to the office of Board of Education Member, District 3, Place 1 of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, for the term commencing on the first Monday of November 2020. Given under our hands pursuant to the requirements of sections 1146:20 of the Alabama Code of 1975 as amended, this first day of September 2020. This the first day of September 2020.
Okay, thank you. Council, we've heard the Certificate of Education for District 3, Place 1. And at this time, Council, I'd like to ask for a motion for the approval of the Board of Education District 3, Place 1. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion by Councilman Bailey. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Johnson. Okay. Call for the vote, Mrs. Lee?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lee. Thank you, Judge Probate after Hardin. And City Manager, anything you want to say?
Congratulations to everybody.
Yeah, let me say this, congratulations. Again, I stated this morning as well as yesterday that this council has stability. We are connectivity together because of the experience we have, and because of that, it's a big burden on our shoulders to continue to do what's right with character, integrity, as well as credibility. And I do want to say this, I see a couple of new elected school board members that are out in the audience. Yolanda Daniels, I'm not going to say Michelle this time, but it is Michelle Daniels to me, and also Katrina Long Collier, who for District 3, Place 1, as well as Place 2, Place 1, as well as Place 2. And we appreciate you all being here, and I do want to say this in council, forgive me or anyone who have heard me say this yesterday as of this morning also, is that this is a historic moment for our city and our community to have an elected school board. As I stated this morning, I can only think and believe that when the charter of this city back in August of 1977 was changed in the form of government that it is, one of the reasons why this city has had success, in particular with this council, which I do want to brag on the council members, is that one of the things that we did deeply, knowingly, strongly, is that we followed the city charter. And what the city charter states is that we do not get into the day-to-day operation. We have one employee, and that's the city manager. We let him do the day-to-day operation. We get out of his way. We trust him. And if it ever comes to a point that you don't trust the person who runs the organization, then you make change, but you get out of their way. So the reason why, and I believe this wholeheartedly as well as this council, the reason why we are flourishing as a city from a financial standpoint as well as a growth is because we are obedient as a council in following the charter with character, integrity, and credibility. And I say that to say this, you may ask, and I'm glad you asked that question, and I wish all the newly elected school board members was here to hear this and may get a chance to say this again. Yes, you all have set history, but that's not the most important history that you're setting. The most important history that you all will set is how you follow the governance of the school board, which means this: as we do not get into the day-to-day operation, the school board members does not get into the day-to-day operation. They have one employee like we have one, and that's Randall Wilkes. Randall Wilkes runs the school system. You all are his boss, and I would advise you that you do not get into the day-to-day operation because it could cost you dearly, which means that if it costs you, it can cost the city a lot of money. And I want to encourage you all that are here, because the other ones are not here, to make sure, and hopefully we as a unit up here, we get a chance to say this again to all collectively, is to allow the superintendent to do his job, stay out of the day-to-day operation, make sure that the governing body is that policy, procedures, and equity is being done in the school system. Because if you do not, it would cost the city, cost the school system a lot of money, because there are laws that we're all governed by. And the thing that we can hang our hat on collectively up here that I want to challenge you on is to do the same thing and push each other to make sure that it's done. And I want to say a couple of other things. I watched the interviews on TV, and forgive me for saying this, but I think it's important that we do lead by example. And I heard a lot of, the question was asked if you were going to be showing up at the school system. I've had the privilege to be on that school system, as well as being on this board now, at the council, to be on the school board for 12 years. 9 of those years I was the president of the school board. And like a lot of us, when we get onto something that's new, we try to send a message that we are connecting with that organization and with the school system by going out into schools. I learned the hard way. Your intentions can be pure, but it's the worst thing that you can do from my experience, because the message that some people in there will receive, the teachers as well as the kids, is that you're coming around, whether it's right or wrong, that, oh, here comes the boss. We are not the boss. So I will say this, I think the worst thing that you can do is to hang around those schools unless you're invited. I'm telling you that from experience because I thought I was doing right, but it turned out to be the worst thing I could do because of the signal that some people perceive, but my intentions was pure. If I could say anything, I would not put myself in that situation. It's same as with us going around to different departments, because the signal or the message could be perceived wrong even though your intentions are pure. But that's up to you all. The other thing too, I want to let you all know that are here. 2014, when SACS came, is Southern Association of Accreditation came in, the worst rating and grade that the school board got at that time was the interference into the day-to-day operation. And you all, when you get in, pull it. Stay away from that. It's my advice. I'm not telling you what to do, but I would tell you it will save you a lot of headaches and save the city a lot of headaches. So again, just make sure that as leaders, you all lead with credibility, integrity, and character. Because let me tell you, people are going to be in your ear, and I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell this council and every council. If you're doing your job to keep your job, because you're going to get pushed, you're not doing your job. And you can't make decisions based on staying in that position. You got to be about the people's business, which is the kids. Far more important than some of the things we have to deal with, because they are children and we have to set the example. And they watch how we behave. So congratulations to both of you all. Make sure you all continue to lead with character, integrity, and credibility. And when it's time to step up to the plate, you got to do it with meekness and boldness. And meekness is not weakness. It's bravery, and you're fearlessly. And I want you all to have those leadership attributes. Congratulations to you all. Thank you all so much. This is council that I'm fortunate to be a part of. And we try to live by that example each and every day and at each and every meeting. So at this time, thanks to CTV Beam again. We can't think enough to bring this to our citizens. And at this time, we are adjourned.
All right.